Hello and welcome to Whiteland Restorations.
Back is black.
Black Talbot's back.
Alright.
Anyway, yeah, we are starting back on the Black Talbot. We have a bit of fabrication to finish up.
Yeah, but we're going to be doing things a little different with this one. We're going to be doing shorter, more regular videos.
Yeah, plenty of little clips. Shorter videos, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes long-ish.
See what you think. Leave a comment below if you like this style of video. We're basically just going to show you what we've been doing during the day and put it up.
Yeah, more regularly.
That's it.
Rather than one
big video at the weekend.
Because I ended up cutting out so much stuff out of our videos.
And people have been saying they want to see more fabrication and more detail.
Yeah.
One small job. So we're going to give it a go.
Yeah.
What's the first job on this then?
We got a bit of fab to do. We've got a patch to put in down here, same on the other side, and a bit of welding on the back of that door. So
today's episode we're going to be
making a new patch.
Making patches.
Making a piece to the other side of the car, about that big, to go in there. We'll show you in a second.
Okay.
Right now. We're going to show you right now.
Let's do it. Start. Let's go.
Here's one of the areas we were talking about earlier. Look at that lovely hole.
Oh gosh.
There and there. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it here-ish, down there. We're going to remove that piece of metal, make a new patch and wang that in. Here, a selection of tools we're going to be using. We've got Trusty Jenny.
Oh, yep.
Megatron. The Stretcher Shrinker.
That's the Stretcher Shrinker 2000.
Okay, of doom I was going to say, but a handy big flat bit of metal for hammering on, bit of metal, bit of card, a sharpie, a measuring device, some hammers and chisels, a spot weld drill, and your fiance's mobile phone.
Yeah, you do need that.
Yes. First thing we need to do, get rid of this wheel.
Look how lovely it is under there. Do you know what? We should give you a tour of underneath of this car because it is absolutely stunning underneath.
Alright, first thing we need to do is make a cardboard template. Cardboard aided design.
Cardboard aided design.
Yes. Make sure you give it enough over this edge so we've got something to mark around, you know. Do the old push it with your thumb so you can see where the mark is. And do a rough estimate of where you want your patch to be. So we want to be about there. We don't need to come much higher than there, do we? Or there. So we're just going to cut that off along there to start with. Wind it up to where you had it before. There will be plenty of material to remove. And hopefully this rust on the inside of there will have stopped by the time it gets to there, you know. We have our rough template of what goes onto here. So let's go and trace that onto some metal and cut it out and start shaping.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's go. You can either use your tin snips to cut that out. It's not that thick of metal. Tin snips is perfectly fine. If you haven't got tin snips that do that, you've got a grinder with a cutting disc, you could do that. Or if you're lucky, you've got a big old metal chopping machine.
Chop,
you go there and you do that because it's a lot easier and quicker. There we go. Choppy chop. Chop, chop, chop. That was a lot easier than grinder or tin snips.
No, but you can do it that way.
You certainly can do it that way. So we have our
template,
overall template transferred onto here. So we've got to do a 20mm line up there. So let's do that next. We could do that with like dividers or something, but there's nothing wrong with a good old Sharpie and a ruler.
Nope.
The best tool is the one that's in your hand. That sounds weird, doesn't it?
No comment. I think the trick to making patches like this is to just take your time and do each stage slowly.
I mean, it would be really easy to fold that on the wrong side.
It would.
Done it many times.
So many times.
So just double check with your template that you've got that on the right side. That is the way that patch
Would you like
folds.
to put a little mark on the side that you're going to be folding in? Yep. Sometimes that helps.
I like to live dangerously. So next, let's go to the rollers.
The rollers.
And put some curve into this metal.
Which way's the curve going, Lou?
Ooh, inwards.
Yeah, let's double check, shall we?
Mark is on the inside of the radius.
Right, so that's the way you're rolling.
That's the way I roll. Right, so fairly simple rollers. I'm not sure if they're going to do enough, but we can always adjust it with a hammer afterwards.
There's always the tapiometer.
Right, that's one way. Let's always tend to put them in both ways, make sure they get that last little curve
nice
in.
and even.
Right, that's a good start. Let's go and see that on the car.
Right, see how close we are?
Oh, not bad for a first effort.
We have a look down. Not bad,
That's flat to the bottom there, so it needs to come in a bit more.
I say you're going to do a few more tweaks and come and
A few
check
more
it
tweaks.
again.
I will be back in momentarily.
Momentarily.
Look at that, that's much better.
Oh yeah, much better.
Right then, next move. Well, what we're doing to start with, we're just going to put a line on that line. It'll give us like a breaking point to fold the metal onto. So first we just feed it through and follow the line. Second, then we're going to start lifting the metal as we roll it through, bit by bit basically.
Slowly, slowly, catchy monkey. So just following that line.
Yeah.
Just to give it a helping hand. Start it off.
So this time I'm just lifting it up, just a small amount, just to let it pull around. And yeah, it will flatten the other curve out, but we can put that back in easy enough.
You can see, if I look down straight down it, you can see that bend coming.
One day we will buy a nice electric bead
usually
roller.
It's my job to turn the handle.
Right, see this kinky bit we've got? That means we need to put it in the shrinker stretcher and just pull all that material together. Okay. So let's go to the shrinker stretcher.
This is a really good machine. That's what this is. What's the word?
A shrinker stretcher.
No, it's handy is what it is. It's good. It's got the shrinking jaws in at the moment.
If you're doing a fair amount of fabrication on cars, repairing them, making patches, first tool you buy a shrinker stretcher. You can buy one that goes in the vise. It's about 100 quid.
Yeah.
There or thereabouts. It comes with a small shrinker and a stretcher. It opens the doors to so many more shapes you can make. It's amazing.
Really good. When we were setting this up, when we got this, when we were setting it up, it's so good. It actually ripped a piece of metal in half, didn't it?
Yeah. But this is a more expensive one.
Yeah.
You see the way it just got rid of that lump?
Look at that, gone
just
already.
Pushed all that metal together.
Of course that will shape the curve to go around the
help
inside as well.
Yeah.
Don't worry about all these marks as well, they come out really easy.
Right, now we've got that sorted, let's go back to
Let
the
me just
Jenny.
see the difference, let me have a look. Amazing.
Again, just a light bit of pressure vertically, just to push it. Right, back to the shrinker stretcher.
Are you putting more pressure in the middle then now to pull it around?
I am putting pressure in different places. If you try and do it all in one place, it makes a right old mess.
Get right wonkiness.
That is coming nicely. A bit more shrinking at the top here. You can see where this has all gone baggy here. It needs this to pull around a bit further. So that's what we're going to do.
Pull that shape. I mean, this flat piece of sheet's already starting to transform, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, look at that, it's starting to come around nicely.
Beautiful.
What I might do is just finish that off on the Jenny, finish the fold off on the Jenny, then come back to that to
Yeah, just
double
switch
finish.
back and forth, back and forth. Nice and slow.
We're going to go all the way up to as high as we can now.
The beauty about it is that you can always just tap it over with a hammer as well.
Yeah, you could do all of this with,
Yeah.
the hammer and a bit of metal.
There are ways.
There are ways. I mean, that's how I used to do it when I first was doing steel work. I mean, this bit here, where it's gone baggy again, we are going to just dress that now with a hammer. And my lovely bit of metal over the top of that.
Okay.
Over the top. Now that is a nice angle on there. We do need to keep bringing the curve back into it there. We've lost quite a bit of the curve, so that's just a stretcher shrinker job. Well, we do need to check it on the car.
Yep, offer it up, see what we've got. It's looking very good so far.
Let's just pull that one in. Let's go and see what it looks like on the car, eh? Oh.
Not half bad, you know, not half bad.
If I hold that flat against the bottom, you can see still needs to pull in a little bit more.
Bad at all. There we go, there's that curve on this side. I mean, obviously Lewis is going to be dressing that in anyway. But that is bloody beautiful. And what's that? 10 minutes work?
Don't tell anyone it's
sorry.
that easy and fast, right? So now the next difficult bit will be, get that onto there, bringing this swage here, from where it is down to where it ends, which is approximately there. To try and get this shape into the patch, I'm just going to be pushing with my hands and thumbs down onto this roller, which is approximately the right radius. I'm going to push down and roll in like that. See, look at that.
Look at it, just
Already coming in.
manipulating that shape.
It comes in so much easier than you'd think. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
That's a good start. So let's go and have a look at this on the old car. Let's just have a look. Well,
that's not bad.
That's coming in nicely. We need to push this bit in a little bit more here. But we'll do that with a hammer and dolly, and then we need to work on this swage line that comes down through there.
Yeah, getting there, getting
Okay.
there.
I'm just going to push it by hand again, I think. I'll do it that way around so you can see.
Thank you.
And she's coming. We'll just double check that in a minute. Whilst we're here, we're going to have a little work at this swage line with this up the other way.
It is a big chunk of metal, isn't it?
It certainly is.
I wonder how much it weighs.
I don't know.
We should weigh it one day.
One day maybe we should weigh it. So I'm got this edge of the
Anvil.
anvil, we're going to call it anvil, yeah, along roughly where the line is. And then I'm just going to tap it. And you can hear the difference between it hitting the and not. So just work your way down and it'll put that swage line in for you. Remember that swage line is fading off.
Yeah.
So don't go too mad at the bottom edge. If you look on the inside you can see.
Yep. Stepping steps come. Good little steps.
Little steps. What's in here? I can flatten that out. That's starting to look a lot better already. So shall we take that over to the car and offer it up? There we go.
Look at that.
That's not far off at all.
Nope.
We could get that a bit better though.
And it's off! So look at the back of that panel. Oh,
One thing I have noticed about all of this, not a drop of wax oil.
oh yeah.
If this car had been treated with any kind of wax oil or just oil poured into here, down into the rear quarter and let it run down to there, this wouldn't have happened at
Prevention
all.
is better than cure.
Prevention all the time. It's so bone dry, it's unbelievable. A lot of wax oils are too thick, I find. Like the heavy duty stuff you're supposed to spray underneath or in the chassis stuff, it's too thick, it doesn't run at all. You need a thin wax oil to run first and then set.
Like Dynex.
Like Dynex, that's why we like Dynex.
That's
so
what we like,
much.
Dynex.
So there we go.
You can heat stuff up and pour that in, but it's best to get the best product you can, really, isn't it?
Dynex is good stuff.
Dynex is good stuff.
Right.
See all these layers as well? You know what they say about cars, don't you?
They're like onions.
They're like onions.
They're like ogres. Right, this is Crud Thug, aka an MBX wheel. It's got all these lovely little teeth which dig at rust. So we're going to have a go at that on here. And we're going to use a bit of the strip and clean discs. Again,
Get the surface
as well.
as clean as possible.
We're going to get as clean as possible. And we're going to treat anything that we can't dig out. And then we're going to paint it with
epoxy.
Epoxy. It's good stuff.
Again, it's just another way of making sure it's all out of there, really, isn't it?
If you look at this panel, lovely panel, and this panel, bit of a gap there. That's because this end is curving back in towards the end of the panel there. So I think the Stretcher Shrinker can help us with that. Get this metal to curve off like that. I think if we just use the shrinker to shrink all the way around these edges, it'll just pull all that metal in.
Like pucker in. There we go. See, it's starting to pull in. Lovely.
Let's just have a look, see what it's compared with. Oh, that's pulled
Oh,
right in.
look at that. Show the camera. Stay still.
She started to pull in quite well. Another little session of that, and then a bit of dressing on the old dresser. Look at that, pulled in there now.
So what have you brought over?
I brought over a hand weight or a dolly, depending on what you want to call it. It's just got a slight curve to this side, so we're going to be using this side on top of there like that, just to smooth this out a little bit. You can see it fits quite well. And I'm just taking some of the roughness out that the Stretcher Shrinker did. That's cool. Obviously, as you're hammering that, it's flattening it back out. So, don't know that.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, let's have a look. Not terrible. Not terrible. I think that will go in.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. We could use the hammer to pull it around a little bit. I've got a bit of trimming to do. I left it oversized this end,
Yeah.
just to make sure there was...
Like I said, it's better to cut away than to have to add, isn't it? Let me come around this side and see that arch. Fantastical.
Fandabidozy?
Yep. Right, let's wait for this vac tan to dry.
Yeah, so whilst we're waiting, I can go to the sandblasting cabinet, clean off this rust,
Yep.
and get the inside of this painted with some epoxy. We can also punch some holes in it for plug welds underneath.
Yep.
Right, we're back from the sandblasting cabinet. This has been sandblasted.
Let's have a look.
Ooh, and that side has been painted.
Oh, with some epoxy.
Yep, Spectral under 395. That's our epoxy to go to. Epoxy.
Our
Epoxy.
go-to aerosol epoxy.
That's the one. Nice heavy coat.
Boink. Right, it's welding time.
Keep an eye on this line here. That's your first most important line. This corner's got to go in just the right place. So we'll start there. We're going to put a tack on it.
One nice new patch of metal at the underside of that quarter.
Looking really good. I'm very happy with it. So the next thing you need to do, double up your tacks. Make sure that thing doesn't, when you're welding, make sure these don't move apart in any different directions. So double up your tacks, and then we'll talk about welding it in. Right, so welding it up. Best way I found to do this. This is quite a shapely area, so I'm not going to worry about distortion. So I tend to weld very much like this, tack welding. 3 tacks, and then cool with an air jet.
Take the heat out of that metal.
Take the heat straight out of it. 3 tacks, cool with an air jet. 3 tacks, cool with an air jet.
Next stage is the
Yoldy grinder.
Yoldy grinder trick.
Yeah, let's clean this up. I find grinding. I like to take the worst of it off with a hard disc. You get more control over a hard disc. You can see exactly what it's cutting off. And then we'll move on to a Linisher, probably a 40 grit, to just whiz it back. If we really wanted to polish it off, we could go down through the grades and sand it with a DA, but
Let's shape it.
yeah, let's grind it back first. Maybe we'll go down through some grades. Who's to say?
Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, so PPE first. PPE.
PP.
Headphones, glasses, gloves, all of that. Right, you might want to stand back and zoom in.
Enable zoom. There we go. Have a good look at that. Lovely job.
Special clamp number 1. As you can see, it goes round the plug weld.
It also looks like Monster Munch.
It does. I prefer that way, but I don't think I'll get it in that way. So this way it is. I'm just going to go there.
Position.
Look at that. Just pulls it in.
It's like
real
it's designed for the job.
neat. And secondly, you need to clean that paint off that you sprayed in there earlier.
Yep.
I sprayed in
You
there.
sprayed in there.
Yeah.
I witnessed it. Good old wire brush and a drill.
Now that is ready for a weld. Right, let's talk plug welds. imagine this is your plug weld hole there, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, on the Volvo, when we did the Volvo, we just had one tack in a corner and that was it.
We
It
didn't
was
do that.
scary.
That was the
very
previous
scary.
owner.
We had to fill it all up with weld. Now, I tend to plug weld start from the top. There, that's where your weld will go, and then work my way around that edge until I come back to there, and it will fill it all up for you. And that's the way I like to do my plug welds. Other people like to point the thing straight in the middle and hold it on until it floods in.
There's too
everywhere.
much heat into it, isn't it?
It depends on your situation, whether you're plug welding with gravity, or if you're plug welding against gravity and you try that method, it's going to all cascade
So,
down
if
on
I
top
was to
of
do
you.
a plug weld, I'd do a little bit here, 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 and then go all the way around the corner.
You can do like I welded that. You can plug weld in bits like that. That looks like a bumhole. Let's start again. I tend to start there and then work my way around the hole. Work your way around the hole in a clockwise manner until it's full.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, you do one weld there to tack it, and then you keep the weld on, and you go. Whoo,
No, don't tack it. Just
go for it.
Just go for it. In
Okay.
a clockwise, start at the top and go round.
Okay. Spiral it in.
God damn it. Right. That's alright looking. It's quite thin metal, the old stuff, so and being upside down is a little hard to weld, but that one went quite well. If you want to come and have a look.
You coming in closer?
Yep.
Here we go. That is a plug weld. I'm just zooming in. Ignore zoom noises. Zoom. So as you can see, Lewis has spiraled around and filled up that hole with weld all the way through to the other side. It is now joined.
You can actually, if you look in here, you can see the penetration.
Oh, let's have a look. There it is, I can see it.
Bit of penetration there.
Certainly is.
So
All the way through.
That was a successful plug weld.
Right, now if you could just carry on and do that for all those holes, that'd be great.
Oh, thank you. Well, we went from this to this.
Fresh metal. Look, all those plug welds are all beautifully done. That is a beautiful patch there. And that is an ugly patch there.
Look at that lovely rust that's lurking behind there.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. On another note, I noticed the wax oil was just above this cut line. So it had been wax oiled, but with too thick a wax oil.
So it didn't seep.
So use thin wax oil to start with, and then maybe something thicker on top.
So
we
that
went
is
from
how
there.
to replace a patch on your car with fresh metal.
Yeah, that's how to make and bend, and if you've got all the equipment we have. If you don't, you can do it by hand. Maybe next time we'll do one without all the fancy equipment.
Oh, that's a challenge.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
A bit more of a challenge, but
Right, anyway, I'm going to leave you now to do all the rest of the fabrication on this car. And join us for the next stage when we shall be
squaring up the panels again.
aligning panels.
Yeah, I know we've done it once before in the past, but
You have to do it again.
we've also
Yeah.
blown it all apart and stripped all the paint on it. So
Fabrication stage will be done, and then we're on to panels.
we'll
Right
see
then.
you then.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed.